guys, welcome back to another video on my channel. Today we are going to be looking at this beautiful exponential challenge where we have 3 to the power of n minus 2 to the power of n is 65. The goal is to find the possible value of m. Alright, so we are going to get started right now, right away. So we have solution. 3 to the power of n minus 2 to the power of n equal to 65. So what I'm going to do on the left is that I'm going to do some kind of modification to the powers here. And what that means is that I'm going to find a way to multiply the n, the powers, by 1. So what I mean is that by a number that will not change the true meaning of the equation, okay? So what I'm going to do now is to say 3 raised to power m, all raised to power 2 over 2. Of course, 2 divided by 2 is 1. And when you multiply 1 by n, it's going to remain as m. So I'm going to do the same thing to this, 2 to the power of m, all to the power of 2 over 2. That will give me 65. Now I'm going to go back and further do some simplification here, where I'm going to be using this law that if a to the power of n over n, a to the power of m over n is the same thing as a to the power of 1 over n times m. Alright? Let's keep this, and then we also note that if I have a to the power of p, all to the power of m over n, this is the same thing as a to the power of p times 1 over n times m. So I can multiply p by 1 over n, so this will give me a to the power of p over n, all to the power of m. So we are going to be applying this. These two are very powerful rules of indices. Okay, so let's come back here. So first, I'm going to write 3 to the power of m times 1 over 2 times 2 minus 2 to the power of m raised to the power of 1 over 2 times 2. All right, and then that is applying this set. Next, I'm going to apply this. So this will give me 3 to the power of m over 2 all squared minus 2 to the power of m over 2 all squared. So what I just did is to multiply m by 1 over 2, m by 1 over 2, and then the 2 remains outside. Okay, I will have equal to 65. So from here, I can now go ahead and use substitution, where I can say let p equal to 3 to the power of m over 2 and q equal to 2 to the power of m over 2. Right. And so, if this is the case, then this equation becomes p squared minus q squared equal to 65. And of course, on the left, we have a difference of 2 squares. So I'm going to use the difference of 2 squares here. So that means p plus q times p minus q equal to 65. So in order to find the values of p and q, I will need to come over to 65 and find the factors of 65. But before we go ahead to do that, I want to also make it known that for this to be true, p plus q must be greater than p minus q. So what that means is that p is greater than 0 and q is also greater than, so what to do, let me just put it this way, that if this is to hold, it means that p must be greater than q and q will be greater than 0. So let's keep this in mind. All right. So keeping this in mind, let's go ahead and simplify this. Now, don't forget that we have these indices. So the base cannot be 0, and that is why P must be greater than Q and Q greater than 0. We are going to be looking out for the prime factors of 65. So I need to make that clear so that we understand exactly how this problem will pan out. Okay, so let's go ahead now and look for the factors of 65. In this case now, we are looking for the positive factors that are prime numbers. Okay, so let's come back here. 65 will give me 1 multiplied by 65. Obviously, we know that 1 is not a prime number, 65 is also not a prime number. So let's go again. 65 is the same thing as 5 times 13. Of course, these two are prime number. You know, already we have jettisoned the negative values, so we are only sticking with positive values, and not just the positive values that are prime factors of 65. All right. So 5 multiplied by 13. Then of course we know from what we have that P plus Q must be greater than P minus Q. Therefore, it's going to be 65 equal to 13 times 5. So we stick with this and then rule out these other factors. So let's go ahead now. So we can say now that P plus Q times P minus Q equal to 13 times 5. So that P plus Q will be equal to 13. We call this equation 1. And P minus Q will be equal to 5. We call that equation 2. Now if we solve these two equations simultaneously, first by elimination, we are going to get 2P to be equal to 18. And that will give us P as 18 divided by 2, which is 9. Now, taking the value of P, this is 9, please. Taking the value of P into equation 1, we are going to get P plus Q equal to 13. Then P is 9. 9 plus Q equal to 13, right? Okay, so from here now we can say that Q will be equal to 13 minus 9, which is 4. So Q equal to 4. So let's go back and let's proceed with the problem. So by finding the actual values of M. Okay, so we have P is 9, Q is 4. We have that P is 9 and Q is 4. Now we know that 3 to the power of M over 2 equal to P and 2 to the power of M over 2 equal to Q. So now that we know P equal to 9, so this becomes 3 to the power of M over 2 equal to 9. And I'm going to write 9 in base 3. So I have 3 to the power of M over 2 equals to 3 to the power of 2. And if we go back to the rule, the index rule that says if we have a to the power of x equal to a to the power of y, by the virtue of equality of the base, therefore, we also conclude that the exponents will be equal. Applying this law, we are going to have it that m to the power of m divided by 2 equal to 2, so that m will give us 2 times 2. M is 4. All right, so m is 4. Now let's go back to find q. Q is equal to 4. So that means that so this one we can call this case 1, and then we call this case 2. So for case 2, we have 2 to the power of n over 2 equal to 4, and this will mean 2 to the power of n over 2 equal to 2 to the power of 2. Applying this law, we are going to get it that m over 2 equal to 4, and that will give me m equal to 2 rather here. That will give me 2 times 2 equal to 4. So we have m equal to 4. So whichever way you look at it, m is equal to 4. So we can conclude and say that for this equation, for the problem we have, 3 to the power of n minus 2 to the power of n equal to 65. We can say that n equal to 4. So if we check that, we will see that 3 to the power of 4 minus 2 to the power of 4 equal to 65. 3 to the power of 4 is 81. 2 to the power of 4 is 16. Finally, the difference will actually give us 65 equal to 65. So this further confirms that our value of m is 4. So guys, there you have it. Go through the steps. I want to see your comments, your like, and then of course, if you are coming across my channel for the first time, please subscribe. And if you're a returning subscriber, just like I said, please subscribe, comment, like, and share. And I'll see you in my next video.